Hi, I'm James, and recently I reviewed the Dungeons & Dragons Adventure Issue 1. We've now got Issue 2 out, so let's actually have a look through this. What have we actually got? So, we've got an explanation of advantage, disadvantage and inspiration. That's always going to be quite useful. It's nicely explained, so I quite like that. That's a nice simple bit. Interestingly, it mentions about bardic inspiration. It says we're going to cover that later on, but it does explain it's something different. And I like the fact it emphasises the rule of cool. That's always good to see. So that's a nice start. So we've got resting and hit dice, because obviously now we've finished the first adventure, we're now going to have to rest before we go any further. So we've got the rules for long and short rests. Yeah, nicely done, nice and simple. Put that out of the way for a minute, we'll come back to that. So we start on spell casting. Very quick explanation of the levels, what the components are. Yep, that's fine. Concentration and rituals. Yep, that's quite a nice one. How to prepare your spells. Yep. Looking at humans in the Forgotten Realms. So okay. Yeah, some, as ever, nice artwork. A lot of it I've seen before, recycled, but that's quite nice. I don't have a problem with that. Details then about the rogue, so talking a little bit about what rogues are like. Mentions thieves' cant. Gives you the rogue first level features. So we've got all about sneak attack and the sneak attack damage, what weapons can do it. Yeah, that's pretty straightforward. So we've got the Forgotten Realms, go into a little bit more detail. Quick explanation of the content of Faerun. Just about the other contents, very little in there. This is much more the meat of what I find in these. We've got a new encounter, the Forgotten Vault. Okay, playtime 1 to 2 hours. So you can either use your characters from the first issue, or you can actually use D&D Beyond, it suggests. So these seem all to be centering around Phandalin, which I think is a nice touch. Obviously we've got the new adventure come out for that, and this one they're actually going and meeting Darren Edomath. Now what I did notice interesting is in the revised scenario, which has just come out, he's a drow. In this version he's still the half-elf from the Lost Mines. Just an interesting little oddity. It sort of shows what they're looking at, and he basically gets the players to go and look in the Forgotten Vault. He knows there's something, but he can't remember the sketch map that he's drawn. He knows there's something, but he's not sure what. So it's a nice simple way to get the players involved. He's a member of the Order of the Gauntlet, so it's an introduction to them. You could easily add these into the Lost Mine or to the new scenario. Take very little. These are just nice little side quests. You know, you're not talking a big dungeon. So this time it's going through dealing with an elven vault. I'm not going to say much more than that. Monster wise, we've got animated armor. Yeah, that's a nice one for beginning characters, and we get a juvenile mimic. So I like that. That's useful. They've toned down some of the monsters from what they are in the full edition. So yeah, and it talks about new players being completely surprised by mimics. Yeah, unless they've seen the film, or they're going to be thinking about chests. Doesn't have to be a chest. And then you get the map that he gives the players. Yeah, it doesn't quite feel right to me, that it doesn't look how I'd imagine he would have created a map. But there's nothing drastically wrong with it. You could even redraw it to suit how you were doing it. So what else did we have? We had this little leaflet for the subscription offer. Talk about what you get free if you subscribe. So yeah, relatively straightforward there. What it isn't telling us with this is what we're going to get in future issues, because they are very good with the things with them. So we've got a set of dice. This time we've got a nice sort of yellow set of dice. Basically same sort of feel, nice little light plastic dice, very much like the first ones. You know, they look nice. they're a set of dice. Nothing I would really write home about. It's not like most D&D players won't have a huge amount. New players, never hurts to have more than one set, but it just bugs me that we only ever put 1d6 in these. These would be so much more useful with a couple of extra d6. One of my big bugbears. But then this came with it. I think this is worth the $4.99 for this on its own. Cubit the cat trying to get in again onto the video. We've actually got a very nice map of the area around Phandalin. With, I like the touch, the scenario is actually marked in ready. So we've actually got a few scenarios marked in to start off with. So it does pick up on future ones. You've got down here, we've got the observatory, which is going to feature in issue 3. But yeah, I mean, this is on really nice thick card, which I think is really good. It's a nice size. This is better than the maps you usually get with the adventures. It's really nice and nice thick card. That I think is probably worth it on its own. So issue 2 then. By the time we think of, we've got a set of dice and that map and a decent little encounter. I'm not worried about any of the other bits, but for new players, there's not an issue with that. I think that's probably worth money. $4.99 for that. That's not bad. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please click on the like button below so that I know what people like and I know what to make more of. Alternatively, if you've enjoyed it and think you'd like to see more, please click on the subscribe button. That way you get notified by YouTube whenever I bring out a new video. And you never know, there might be something in there that you hadn't considered, because I do cover a variety of things on the channel. And finally, if you have a little bit of cash going, I now have a Patreon account. I'm always looking for patrons, because at the end of the day, let's be perfectly honest, it's a good way for me to get a little bit of money that will use to buy review items or to travel to museums and so on. I don't put a huge amount on that. At the minute, all we've got is one tier charging £1 a month, which just, as I said, helps cover my costs. See you soon.